I believe it was, who was it? I think it was Einstein or someone, one of the physicists said that they gave us 4 years after the disappearance of all bees for the disappearance of us. We're all symbiotically connected, and bees and pollination is directly connected to our food chain. And without the bees, there would be no pollination. Without that, there'd be way, way less food until finally there'd be no food at all. I'm all geared up and ready to go. Only thing is, I'm a little older now, a lot older, and it's kind of hard to bend down and get back up. I love music from the very first time I heard it. I think the first thing I heard was Green Sleeves. It was like, you know, a traditional folk song. And I was hooked after that. Then I started playing cello in the orchestra. It's about 8 years old. I suppose it is a part of me, you know, basically it's an expression of the energy exchange between you and I. That's the best way I can put it. It's like a camera, you know, it expresses, it's just a tool between the director and the actor, or actually more like the actor and the audience. The camera doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything without the actor and the audience, you know. You need those two things, and that's what it is. I try to express the exchange between us. The guitar is just, it's a tool that makes it work good.
There's a red house over yonder. It's where my baby stays.
I started bees about 3 years ago, just to raise the awareness on the island, because people wanted to kill bees all the time. There's a big, huge kill them, you know, mentality going around, and I didn't think that was right. So I started reading, and it turns out that isn't right. What I started doing was, I went on YouTube and just watched every beekeeper video on YouTube. Got me a book called Beekeeping for Dummies. Bought a suit, started reading more and more. Everything I could get my hands on, and then I finally got my first beehive to take out. All my bees are rescues, by the way. They're all removals from houses. I don't get no bees from trees, and I don't buy bees. I ran with a crowd that was into music and loved to play music live and practice, and we must have practiced, you know, for one show we'd practice like a ridiculous amount of hours. You know, 40 hours for one show. Yeah, I must have been about 12 by then when I discovered the guitar and the power of guitar. Chicks love guitar. So cello went by the way, and picked up guitar. Started teaching myself at first, then started asking friends, you know, for tips here and there. Then finally I went to school. But I had played for many, many years before I went to school. I was already played in clubs and I was already an established musician. I just wanted to get better and take it to the next level. I went to school at Cornish Institute. It's an art school, arts academy, art, dance, and music in Seattle, in Capitol Hill. And I went 2 years there. It was really great. All music, all the time. It's awesome. So my first removal was very bad. It didn't go very well at all. I didn't get the bees, and I didn't get any honey, and I got stung up. So then I went back to the drawing board, and then next week I did another one, and the same thing. Didn't get the bees, didn't get the honey, got all stung up. So then I thought, okay, well, let's try it again. And each time I learned something, you know, each time, until finally the third one, I believe it was Rudy's restaurant in West End. It was successful. I got the bees, they stayed, I got some honey, and I learned something.
All right, we're off on an adventure. We're gonna capture some bees and relocate them to a brand new condo. I've prepared it. The beds are made and the door's open. So let's get some bees. I call this the House of Bees. This is where we're going, to the House of Bees. Doggies! It's okay. Where's your people? Hey! You guys are in here. The bee man has arrived.
This is the famous bee house. How many will this be? 7?
This is a lot of bees in
A lot
this
of
house.
bees. For some reason, it just really likes to keep coming back here.
Yeah, this is the famous bee house.
Squeeze the fingers, just
This is a queen bee right here.
I know it.
What I'm gonna do, see those 2 triangular boards? I'm gonna pop them off, and then I'm gonna try and pop that bottom off, because that's where they're at. They're in that little box. Let's see what we got here. I see bees, so that's a good sign. They're not happy. Sorry, babies, but it's me again. I know. Oh man, these are really pissy bees. We may be into something here, fellas. I think these might be Africanized. These are really angry. Africanized, for sure. Man. Woo! Gotta get them up, though. Got to get them up. I don't know how they're getting in my glove, but we'll figure that out. Africanized bees
were an experiment to see if they can make bees make more honey by mating the Africanized bees with the domestic bee, and they came out with a terror. A bee that is really not happy. Okay, I'm gonna need Mitch pretty soon, like real soon. Okay, I'm gonna need the cutting tools and I'm gonna hand you comb and you throw it in the bucket. You can take that extension off if you want. And just use the.
Pretty good.
I'm gonna let them gather a little bit.
Okay.
You can stay up here and suck as many as you want, to your heart's content. The more the better. I'll clear out. I can go around you. Well, I got a bunch of bees that's acting like there's a queen here. But there isn't. Where's that pollen at? Oh, there it is. See it down in there?
Yeah. So they insert the pollen down in there first?
Yep. And then they beat their wings over it. See it? And it liquefies and becomes honey. See it? And if you taste this, it tastes just like bee pollen because, well, it is. Having fun? Yeah. lot of people say it's fun to do that. That was Nicole's favorite part, sucking up the bees. Can you believe she's helped me for over 20, maybe 30 of them? And it was just her and I. We did a lot of hives together. I'm going to take all this comb, stick it in that bin. Like I said, sell some of it to a restaurant. Some of it I'll use for seed comb for other hives. All right. How about that, Mitch? How about that? It's official. You are now a beekeeper's helper.
I got a few stings on my
Someday,
face, my nose,
when
my
you can
cheek.
snatch the bee from my hand,
Okay.
then you will be a master. Well, we're disappointed. We didn't get much honey. We did get some bees. They were Africanized, and it was, you know, it was not your typical takeout. It involved a little bit more like getting stung. So there's a little bit more stinging involved with African bees, and they're really chintzy on the honey. There was no honey, none. What a bummer. Oh well, sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and it was a real ripe area for music at the time. Hendrix was there, and there was another band that came out of there. I think it was the Kingsmen. They come out of Portland, but you know, the same kind of area, and they did Louie Louie. So none of the new bands existed yet, the Pearl Jams and all that stuff, and that wasn't born yet. But Seattle was ripe for music, and that's where I kind of honed my whole thing. We got some new people in town, and they're excited. They want to go out and dance. And I love playing for new people.
Oh yeah. Well, they say she can't, but I know she do. She do, yeah. She do the cocoa view, yeah. Boogie with me, baby. Boogie, boogie all night long. Whoa. Let me bring you for you over there.
To feel out the people, because I don't have a set list. I just go by off of the people, you know. I look around, I sense and I feel, what do they want to hear? I usually nail it, you know, pretty close from the first few songs. And the first few songs are like, if you never heard the group, it's like, well, you want to hear what's going on, what's this band about, you know, okay, impress me, you know. So the first, sometimes I can tell that the people, they're in an impress me mood. So I'll do some show pieces for the first tune or two and then get into the dance numbers.
I'm hanging out after dark. People think I'm crazy. Shuffling on my feet, I'm shuffling through the street, asking people, say what's the matter with you, boy?
All the people that I admired really intensely didn't play guitar. Like, I was a huge John Coltrane fan, and still to this day I'm a huge Coltrane fan. Coltrane taught me how to hear a lot of different things, a lot of different, I mean, he really expanded music. He really, his harmonic knowledge is incredible, and what he taught me was invaluable. I mean, invaluable, how to move through changes and go different ways. Go through the changes any way I want. I can take any avenue that I want. I'm really, no, I learned a lot from that, and I'm pretty much, I can make my own path through anything.
Well, you done me, and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you so hot that I melted. Slipped right through the cracks. So I'm trying to get back. Before the cool run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. Nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention, and I reckon it's again my turn to live some and
Let's see what we got going here. I've been teaching at the Sandy Bay Alternative School, which is a school for the expat kids, because I don't speak Spanish that well. Let's see, this is my 4th year. I love teaching the kids. I love that aha moment when it happens and they get it, you know, and they go, oh, you know. And a couple of the kids have gone on to do some pretty good things.
Always plays whenever it's singing. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. That's all I got.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I'll be here practicing.
Show me something.
Like chords too. Yeah. I forgot like up here and stuff is like.
And then one of my graduates is going to the Berklee School of Music in Boston. She graduated last year and she got admitted to Berklee this year. So it was very good, you know. Actually, two of them yesterday told me they want to pursue music as a career. And that's the first time that's happened this year.
Everyone's gonna have some doubt. Oh, everyone's gonna work it out their own way. Their own way.
Hey, is he a pretty good teacher?
Oh yeah. I learned a lot with him.
Yeah, you having fun with it?
Oh yeah. That's what I like about him. He makes it fun.
And here's your guitar. This is a gift, by the way,
A piece of him.
of solidarity between our two nations. That's where most of their home ended up, and all of their honey. As you can see, there wasn't very much, which means this was a new hive, not long here, and these bees were busy working on their winter stash. All right, really nice bees we have there. These are feral bees, not the domesticated brand. They're slightly smaller, a little bit darker in color, more pointy. And, you know, slightly more aggressive nature because they're wild and not domesticated. I got a special bee vac that takes care of them harmlessly, sucks them up into a hive box and harmlessly delivers them there so that I don't have to transfer them from one thing to another. Once they get into this box, that's it. I just put a top on it and a bottom and put them out on the bee yard. Put them to work. All right, we're all suited up and ready to go here. We're gonna cut into the wall, and this is a nice setup you got going here.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty pimping.
Yeah, you're definitely pimping. Ladies are gonna be flocking at you, man. So I go in there and start cutting comb. I'm cutting comb, and you know I got some smoke. I'm smoking them. They're reasonably calm, but you know they're still doing their thing. Just stinging everybody for 50 feet. It's getting stung up. And people are walking home and go, ah! Oh, it's big, you know, disaster for them. And my veil at the time just barely touched my nose. You know, it just fell down, just barely touched my nose, and bam, one got me right on the nose. So I was like, oh God, that hurt, you know. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just finish up this little piece here, and bam, there's another one right in the same spot. Oh. So that one had my eye watering, and I had to stop and take a little break, you know. So I stopped and chilled, and but I could just feel the throbbing and everything is just getting ready to go south, you know. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just finish this last bit, and then I'll be, you know, just like, you know, come back tomorrow or something, you know. So I'm up here, and bam, 3 and 4 came back to back. And that's when I just said, okay, that's it. You know, my face was already starting to swell. It was so huge. I had to go to the Woods Clinic. Went to the clinic, and they shot me up with something. And then I came back, and believe it or not, I went back to the hive and finished taking out the comb. But by then, my face was so huge that there was no definition or nothing. My chin just connected to my body. There was no neck. It was just all full like this. And it was just huge, puffy face. I didn't even look like me. Didn't look like me at all. In fact, when I got home, my girlfriend was like, wow, you don't even look like you. And I could turn sideways and go, hey, hey, hey. I looked just like Fat Albert because I had no neck. I mean, my neck was just like, my chin went right into this, and this whole thing was, it was hilarious to look at. I mean, you don't kill tigers because they have teeth. You know, tigers are beautiful creatures and bees are beautiful creatures. And because bees sting, that doesn't make them bad. They're no worse off than an alligator or a tiger or a lion. They're part of nature. In fact, I think they're a more important part of nature than an alligator, but, you know, what do I know? I'm a beekeeper. Bees are critical. Without bees, the human beings would all die in 5 years. The food would be gone in 3. Plants need bees for pollination. Bees pollinate 80% of our food. 80% of our food. That means if we didn't have bees, we'd have 80% less food. You think we'd be fighting wars over territory? No, we'd be fighting over food. So bees are great for keeping war down. What we do is we rescue bees. We're not beekeepers. We are bee rescuers. It almost makes us bee freers. Liberation! Power to the bees.
Be free.
Be free, be free. Zzz, 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 zzz. Be free, be free. Zzz, 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 zzz. Well, I played with a lot of different groups. Just recently, I did New Year's Eve. We got asked to put the band back together. It's the Dan Reed Network from Portland, Oregon. We were the biggest band to come out of there. We toured with the Stones and Bon Jovi and UB40, and we were the hometown heroes for years and years. Yeah. So we hadn't played together in 20 years or so. And when I looked out and saw all the fans, there must have been 7,000 people there, but when I looked out and saw all the faces, it was the same faces, just older. It was really, really great and real successful. So successful that the fans in Europe that couldn't make it to America for this show, because people were flying from Europe to see this show, and the fans in Europe that couldn't make it, they demanded to have their version of the same thing, and that's how the tour was born. So now we're going to go out this fall and do a couple shows in London, a couple shows in Stockholm, some German towns, and you know, just work our way through Europe. It's something that you give to the audience and they give something back, and then it just keeps going back and forth. So it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 10,000, the energy exchange is going to happen, and it's going to make something happen, you know. The biggest audience I've played to is 180,000 people in Prague, Czechoslovakia. That was with the Stones, of course. And we played in this stadium that held 300,000 people. And you may have seen this stadium before. Hitler used to have rallies there in the stadium. They'd have tanks in there and massive soldiers, and you know. Well, back in LA, when I lived in LA, I was, I guess, what you call a song slinger. We go into record companies with a handful of songs, and we pitch them to the various artists on that label. You know, I show up at the record companies with 9 guitar songs, and they're like, "What? What is this?" You know, what is that sound there? That's a guitar. Remember that? I'm in the studio recording and paying this engineer $50 an hour to engineer my mixes. He's so bored, he's on the phone. I'm pretty much engineering my own record. He's on the phone talking. He's talking to Puff Daddy at the time. Now he's P. Diddy or whatever the hell he calls himself now. And he heard my music in the background while he's talking. And he goes, "What's that?" and then the engineer holds the phone up to the speaker. And then he goes, "You know, I gotta have that. That's just like too cool." You know, 9 songs that I couldn't get arrested with, and sold them all. Suddenly, everybody wanted one of those songs, and I was the only one that could do it. And that next year, I sold 15 songs. Everybody had to have a Brion James song, you know, on their record. They have everything else, but then they have to have a Brion James song, and it was that guitar thing, they call it. Hey, get Brion James to do that guitar thing. Come on over here and do that guitar thing, you know. So I got known for doing the guitar thing. I come in, I played on a whole lot of records, even Snoop Dogg. I'll be back here teaching and doing the bees. This is my home. I like Roatan. I like the people. I like the place. This is home.
Hey, bees off. I got freedom. Look at this luscious piece of honey, this delicious succulent honey from the hive. It comes one of a kind from Brion's yard. Okay, here comes another delicious frame of goodness. Are you ready for this? All right, it starts here with this honey has just come out of the hive. In fact, you can see it a little better here. Come and look at, see these big, huge pieces here? Like, if I can get one out.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be de-bead by George into here, and then Tasha will squish it into here.
So basically I just get as much as I can in my hand, squish away. I think the process of this is doing it slowly rather than trying to rush it, because then more drips off your hands.
So what we do is we strain one time through there, and then we strain a second time into here, and then it goes straight to jars.
Yeah, everybody parties hard when you're young. Come on, you did too, you know. Everybody does. But then you get older and you get smarter, and the hangovers get to be longer, and pretty soon you don't party so hard. But we still give it a run every Friday night right here.